You know when you're in a situation that's like, oh man, I'm really uncomfortable right now. But then sometimes you're in a situation where you're like, oh, I'm just kind of uncomfortable right now.
We're making a tier list.
We're doing it. We're doing a tier list. So this is the tier list of uncomfortable situations. I've collected my top 20, maybe 21 situations in which I'm like, I don't want this to be happening to me right now. I wish this wasn't happening. Going through this list, I really sat and thought for a minute and realized how maybe bizarre some of these are. I didn't consult anyone on this, so I guess through the course of making this, we'll see whether or not I'm incredibly relatable or I just have social anxiety. But yeah, first I think we got to name our tiers. So okay, are we doing top tier is the most uncomfortable, and bottom tier is like not that bad? Top tier would be like, I wish I could time travel to avoid this from happening. Like if I had a time machine, I would whip that one out just to avoid this situation. A tier is like, I'm thinking about it for the rest of the day. Like this is something that has affected the course of my day. I feel like B tier is going to be a lot of like the classic, like awkward situations that everyone is kind of familiar with, but they've sort of been recognized through society as like, this thing will sometimes happen to you and you just got to deal with it. That'll be B tier. So if S tier is like, I would whip out a time machine and go out of my way to prevent this from happening, I feel like C tier's got to be like, if I already happen to be in like a Groundhog Day situation and I had to do the day over, this would be something I would try to avoid, but it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So then T tier is like, okay, this isn't actually that bad. Like, you're overreacting, just gotta lock in a little bit. Okay, and then we're just gonna go one by one, sort of evaluate the situations. I guess I didn't really label these, and I made this yesterday, so I'll have to remember what each of these images represents. Oh, so first up, this is when someone is waving at somebody else, but you think they're waving at you, and so you wave back. This is genuinely something that happens to me all the time. I feel like I know a lot of people vaguely. Like, I'm not like a big popular guy, but there's a lot of people that have come in and out of my life at different times. And so what will happen is someone will like say hi to me, or I'll think they're saying hi to me, and it's like I'm going through the mental database. Like, okay, who are you? Are you Kathy? Are you Brooke? Are you Evan? Are you Kyle? I'm just going through the list, and once I find them in that list of names and people, I'm like, oh yeah, that's, Michael from when I worked at the ice cream shop. Now, sometimes though, I'll hit the end of the list and I'll already be waving. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm sure I'm going to find this person in the list, but then I don't. And so I wave to them and they're waving at me. And then I realize, oh my God, I don't know this person. And then I turn around and they're actually waving to someone behind me. I don't know if this happens to everyone. This happens to me like once a month. It's actually pretty bad. I feel like this has got to go in classic awkward. I kind of just set this here, but I feel like classic awkward is like something you could play off as if you were doing a bit, like, oh, I'm waving. Oh, just kidding. I'm a stranger. Like, they're not going to think about you again. It's not that big of a deal. Maybe I am. Maybe is that so bad? Is that so bad to say hi to a stranger? Is that really so bad? You know what? Maybe it's not that bad at all. No, it's pretty embarrassing. It's pretty embarrassing. Okay, next up we got when someone tells you you're being too loud. This is like, I think one of the worst things someone can say to you. Like, genuinely, this is like, if someone tells you you're being obnoxious or you need to dial it down a little bit, that feels so bad, because you always are, right? Like, if someone says you're being too loud, that's not a matter of opinion. That is pretty objective. And this one's so bad. I actually had a bit with my friends in college. Someone would be talking at a completely reasonable volume, and you hit them with the,
bro, I'm like 5 feet from you. Why are you yelling?
That's a pretty good one. That one, along with
Are you making your voice sound deeper right now?
it's pretty good. Pretty goated rage bait, but it feels horrible when it happens to you genuinely. I definitely would not whip out the time machine though. But I definitely will kind of feel embarrassed for a good number of hours after that. Okay, this one here, this actually might be a AI slop image that I found on Google. I can't really tell what's going on in this picture, but this is when you're driving somewhere and then someone's like, oh, shotgun, but you got a bunch of like shit on your like in your passenger seat. I'm not talking, it doesn't have to be like actual garbage. Like if you got like your backpack and a water bottle and nonsense, and then you have to be like, oh wait, don't get in my car yet. I'm like shaking the whole house when I move around. I'm realizing I have a very bouncy desk. It's just one of those things that's impossible to do in like a smooth way. Like that's not something that you can handle with any sort of class, you know? Now, that being said, people have stuff, you know, like whatever, bro. We're out of school. I got a backpack, right? Is that so bad? I'm going climbing later. I got my gym bag with me. Like, let's be real. That's not that bad. That actually might be D tier. I mean, unless it's like actual garbage. Like if you have like a McDonald's bag, I feel like that can be pretty embarrassing. I mean, yeah, maybe if I was in a Groundhog Day scenario already, I'd be like, oh, I could optimize my day better this time around by not leaving stuff in my passenger seat because I know I'm driving. So I think that's a good C tier there. Okay, so this next one here is being in a room with two people while they're like actively beefing or like fighting. I would time travel to avoid this. This is such an uncomfortable situation. The two really bad ones are when you're in a group and two people are joking and then all of a sudden one of them crosses the line and then you see the moment in which the like banter becomes real and you gotta just like calm the tension that has just arose. Even worse is when you're hanging out and there's a couple there and the couple starts fighting, but they're not really fighting. They're kind of like, but they're not really fighting. They just like have a clear disagreement and they don't want to get into it in front of people, but you know that this is going to be like, okay, we're going to have to talk about this later. And that, oh man, that is pretty uncomfortable. No, these are the worst. This is like one of the worst situations I feel like you can be in. These are pretty bad. And the thing is though, that they are not embarrassing for you. Like in this, you're like a third party. This is kind of embarrassing. You get like secondhand or like third-hand embarrassment from it, but it's still like just, I would, if I was in that situation, I'm whipping out the time machine and just avoiding this entire interaction. Like 100%. This was the opposite. This is like the classic third wheel situation. That's a classic awkward right there. Everyone knows being a third wheel is uncomfortable. That's probably the easiest lockdown we got. Okay, so this is when you couldn't hear what somebody said 3 times. I feel like that's the exact cutoff, right? You know, sometimes people talk, people mumbling, people talking fast, right? If you gotta be like, oh, hey man, what'd you say? Huh? They say it a second time, but you still didn't hear them, you can hit them with the second what, right? That might be their bad. But the moment they have to repeat themselves a third time, like you can't say, I didn't hear you a third time. Unless they're literally whispering, which they're probably not. You gotta just be like, oh yeah, no, that's hilarious. Or I'm sorry that happened to you. Like you have to pretend like you heard what they said after the third time of them repeating it. But I feel like that's one that's like not that bad, you know? Like as long as you can play off the fact that you heard them, then I feel like it's not that bad. Spilling something anywhere, spilling a liquid, that's pretty embarrassing. If I was at like a restaurant, I mean, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Like spilling your drink at a restaurant, getting it all over you. You got to get like someone else to clean it up for you. That's a lot worse than if you're in your own house and you just grab paper towel, whatever. Doesn't matter. But if you're in a restaurant, that would be a thing where I'm getting made fun of on the ride home because, oh, you spilled a thing. That sucks, bro. That sucks. That's the worst. Okay, this might just be me, but going to get your oil changed and you're like a little overdue and the oil change guy is like, wow, you really needed to get your oil changed. You really gotta change your oil, man. And it's like, bro, why do you think I'm here? What do you think I'm here for? Right? Obviously, I gotta get my oil changed. I'm at an oil change place. Can't you just change my oil? Okay, maybe I should take better care. Maybe I should be more on top of it. You're right. I know. But listen, it's like a snowball effect, right? Because that interaction bothers me so much that it will literally delay me from getting my oil changed further. I will literally be like, oh, I should go get my oil changed today. Oh, but I really should have done it a couple weeks ago. And they're definitely going to say something. That just sucks. That's really, I will think about it all day. I genuinely will think about it all day when the oil change guy tells me that I need to get my oil changed. This is kind of more of a thing that happens, I think, in like high school or like grade school, but it's when no matter what the actual truth is, when somebody says, oh, you have a crush on this person, because it's like they've just canonized it immediately. Whether or not you have a crush on Emily doesn't matter, okay? They've just spoken it into existence. Because if you say, no, oh, you lying, say nothing. Obviously, if you say yes, it's true. But if you say nothing or maybe, I mean, it's all yes. These people have an immense power over the narrative of life. I mean, that's a classic awkward though, right? Or is that just me? Is that just something that happened to me all the time? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Okay, this is long elevator rides with strangers. Honestly, not that bad. Not that bad. This is elevator rides give me a power that I've only ever been able to achieve while working in a drive-thru. And I call it the drive-thru paradox. And yes, this is an example of where we're using the word paradox as if it means something that it doesn't mean. But like any young person in today's society, I can struggle in social situations with strangers, right? You know, talking to the lady at the front desk can be a little scary. But when I tell you, when I'm in an elevator, I know that this guy is going to forget about me the moment that we both step out of the elevator. It's like the Severance elevator. I'm here, you're there, I could say anything. I could say anything to you, and you will forget this interaction. And that power, man, I don't know. It's like a switch gets flipped. I'd be saying crazy stuff to people in elevators or in drive-thrus, and it's so fun. It's so fun. This is a great situation. If you're in an elevator with your buddy and you guys are talking and a stranger walks in, your buddy says something, that's when you whip out bro, are you making your voice sound deeper? So, say weird stuff to people in elevators, guys. It's so much fun. What? Oh, this is getting called into an office for any reason, ever. No, well, okay. I guess not like a doctor's office. Like if you're at the dentist or whatever and the hygienist comes in, it's like, oh, it's your come on into the office. That's fine. But like your boss saying, hey, can you come into my office? You know, a teacher calling you into their office or saying, can I see you after the class? This has never happened to me for bad reasons. It's always been like, oh, hey, you sent me an email and I just didn't have time to respond to it. But something about like being in a room with people and someone saying, oh, can you see my office? Everyone all of a sudden teleports back to 6th grade and goes, ooh, you're in trouble. I don't understand. I don't understand how that's like a sleeper agent call to put people, back 10 years in their social awareness. But I feel like it's a classic awkward because it's only bad if you're getting called in there actually for a bad reason, which I think you deserve at that point. If you did something wrong and you got to get talked to about it, that's on you. That's on you. This is a terrible picture for this. But this is when you're walking into a building, but someone else is walking into a building and they're trying to hold the door open for you, but they're like a little bit too far to where like you shouldn't have done that, man. Like now I gotta I don't want to keep you waiting, but I'm like a good 20 seconds from the door. I can't keep you waiting for 20 seconds. You got somewhere to be. I got somewhere to be. And so I gotta like step up the pace a little, but I can't run, right? I'm not running to the door. That's ridiculous. So I gotta like do this weird in-between sprint jog, I gotta, oh, hey, yeah, that's all right. Come on, that's what I gotta hit them with. That's what they want. No one wants that. Don't hold the door open for me if I'm more than 20 seconds away from you. C tier, D tier. I don't know what tier this is. I've renamed them all to dumb things. Dropping something. This is something that would happen in college all the time. During a lecture, someone would drop their Stanley cup or their, aluminum water bottle on the ground and it would ting, 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 ting all the way down the auditorium. Super loud, super obnoxious. Oh man, that's bad. That's bad. Is that time travel worthy? No. That's like A tier. I would think about it all day if that happened to me. Okay, this one, this might be a classic one, but I think it's pretty bad, is going to a store and they don't have what you need, so you have to walk away without buying anything. I don't know what it is, but there's nothing about that that's fine. There's two worst case scenarios. One, they think you're stealing. They think, oh, this guy just grabbed some stuff and walked out, but I'm getting paid $12 an hour, so I don't really care. That sucks. But then there's also them catching you on the way out and being like, oh, did you find what you were looking for? Couldn't find what you're looking for? And you gotta be like, no. And then they're like, well, what were you looking for? And you're like, no, I'm positive you don't have the thing I need, because I went to the notebook aisle and I'm looking for a really specific type of notebook, because I don't like notebooks that have rings in them, because it hurts my wrist to write on a notebook that has the metal rings on them. So I'm looking for a very specific, but I'm not buying one of those ugly notebooks that have like the splotchy green and white, or, you know, the colored ones. I'm not buying one of those, because I have an ounce of self-respect. So I was really looking for a Moleskine, but I know you don't have them, because if you had them, they'd be by the rest of the notebooks. And then they're like, oh, you know, let's go check, you know, like I'm sure we got some somewhere. And you just got to be like, no, man, I'm good. It's fine. This was not that, this only cost me like 3 minutes out of my life, and you're about to make it cost like 7. And that's, I don't want to do this right now. And I don't know. This sucks. This is pretty bad. And I would time travel to avoid this from happening. Would I? No. I think I might have made my S tier a little bit of a leap from I'm thinking about this all day to I would literally break the laws of space-time to avoid this from happening. I really feel like there's a pretty big leap between S tier and A tier, and that it's maybe messed up my distribution a little bit. This is a classic awkward, to be honest. I'm not really gonna think about that all day. Having to ask where the bathroom is, I'm time traveling. If I'm in someone's house, it's not that big of a deal. But when I'm at a restaurant and their bathroom's in a weird spot and I'm walking around and someone's like, do you need help finding the bathroom? Do you gotta pee? You gotta pee. You're gonna pee your pants, aren't you? You're gonna pee your pants because you don't know where the bathroom is because you're too stupid to find the bathroom. Come on. I know that's what they're thinking too. I know that's what they're thinking. This is not the sort of thing that happens to them like all the time. They weren't preemptively asking that because they know the bathroom's in a weird spot and they know that this is something that happens all the time. They have to answer this question 10 times a day. No, that is not what's happening. They think I'm gonna pee my little pants because I'm a little pee pants. That's what they think. I would time travel to avoid this from happening. I would find where the bathroom is, time travel, tell my past self where the bathroom is so that way I don't have to go through this. That's happening. Next up is getting the wrong thing at a restaurant. Not that bad, bro. Honestly, not that bad. Getting the wrong thing is not that bad. And here's what makes it bad, is when you get the wrong thing and you're like, that's okay. You know, I didn't really want tomatoes on my hamburger, but I'm an adult. I can eat a little bit of tomato. I'm not a baby. Or I'll take the tomatoes off my hamburger. It's not that big of a deal, right? But then someone else is like, we gotta call the waiter back because this is not acceptable. And then it becomes a whole big deal and you're just like, no guys, it's genuinely fine. Carrying too much stuff, classic awkward. Actually, no, I don't know if anyone else thinks that's awkward. But you know when you're like going somewhere and you just have a lot of stuff that you need to bring and you're just like kind of carrying it and you're like dropping stuff and you're like, oh man, I gotta, you know, just being encumbered in general, that kind of sucks. King's favorite fool. When you're trying to tell a joke, but no one thought it was funny. That's classic. That's classic. I mean, everyone's done that. That's pretty tough. You know, everyone's been there. If you are on like a cold streak, then you might want to whip out the time machine and come up with some better material. But in general, if you got a goof that's not goofing, I think that's fine. That happens. Okay, this one here is when you tell someone like, oh, you too, but it doesn't actually apply and you're just kind of sticking to the script and you didn't realize that you had to change the script up. Like if you're at the movie theater and you get your movie ticket and they're like, oh, enjoy the movie. And you're like, yeah, you too. And then it's like, oh, but you're not gonna enjoy the movie because you're working here. You don't watch the movie right now. You have to take the ticket. You clock into the taking the ticket factory. I clock into the watching the movie factory. This is how society works. And I'm too stupid to realize that. No one thinks that. Bro, no one thinks that. If you worked any customer service job ever, this happens every day. This is not that big of a deal. People freak out when this happens, when you do that, but this is nothing. Then you got forgetting someone's name. Also, not that bad, bro. There's so many good recon strategies for learning someone's name you forgot. There's the classic wait till someone else says their name and then just like, oh, I remember now. There's asking them how they spell their name. Like, oh, I'm texting someone. How do you spell your name again? That's like a classic. There's also just asking, bro. It's only that bad if you definitely should know this person's name. Like if this person is like a relative or like someone that has really helped you out in the past or anything like that. But if it's just like someone that you had geometry in arts in freshman year with and they're like saying hi to you and you don't remember their name, it's just hit them with the, oh yeah, hey, sorry, what was your name again? That's fine, bro. That's fine. It's only bad if you assume their name is something different and call them that. That's when it gets bad, which that's on you at that point. But yeah, so this is the tier list. I feel like this is pretty good. Just kind of going through it one more time. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean this seems pretty objective. So yeah, if you guys have any others awkward situations or if you would rank things differently, I don't really care. Don't tell me about it. I don't care. So it all sort of works out. Yeah, so anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like and join us next time for when we